Hello, my dear friends. Have you ever considered how our most personal experiences, like intimacy, might shift as we journey through life, particularly after 70? Many men at this stage rediscover the profound importance of comfort, connection, and physical release. Masturbation is not just common, it's a healthy practice when approached thoughtfully. It can ease stress, aid sleep, boost circulation, and even contribute to prostate health. However, some habits related to self-pleasure can subtly undermine our energy, health, and even longevity. We're not here to judge or alarm, but to share knowledge, empower you, and help you protect your well-being. As our bodies change, so should our self-care practices, including our most intimate behaviors. Today, we'll explore 5 common mistakes older men often make and why they might be doing more harm than good. Let's approach this topic with wisdom, dignity, and understanding. Before we begin, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video designed just for you. And after watching, tell me what you think. Leave a 1 in the comments if you found this helpful, or a 0 if you have suggestions for improvement. Let's start with the first mistake, ignoring our body's changing limits. As we age, our bodies undergo subtle yet significant transformations. After 70, our hearts, blood vessels, nervous system, and even skin sensitivity respond differently. Many men continue masturbating with the same intensity and pace they used to, unaware that this can strain their bodies. Vigorous or hurried self-pleasure can be physically exhausting and may lead to dizziness, rapid heartbeat, or muscle cramps. These might seem minor, but repeated overexertion can stress the cardiovascular system, especially if you have high blood pressure, heart disease, or diabetes. Another often overlooked aspect is the strain on our pelvic floor muscles during climax. Overuse leads to tightness, fatigue, urinary problems, groin discomfort, and even incontinence in severe cases. We need to treat ourselves with respect and care. Masturbation shouldn't feel like a performance test, but a celebration of sensation. It's not about speed or intensity anymore, but relaxation and connection. Gentle touch, a slower rhythm, and a calm environment can actually heighten pleasure while protecting your body. Deep breathing, good posture, and taking breaks when needed can significantly reduce risk and enhance the experience. This phase of life offers a wonderful opportunity to redefine pleasure. Listening to your body, not fighting it, is not weakness, it's wisdom. Slowing down doesn't diminish you. It may even reveal greater depth and satisfaction. The key is to avoid pushing yourself into discomfort simply because that's how you used to do it. Your body is communicating with you, respect its message. But the physical is only part of the equation. What about the emotional and mental aspects? Our next mistake often goes unnoticed, yet it can subtly reshape our brains. Our second mistake is overstimulating the brain with pornography. In today's digital age, pornography is readily available and intensely stimulating. Younger brains are more resilient to this kind of overload, but for older men, especially those over 70, this overstimulation can alter the brain's response to pleasure and arousal. Many men use online pornography without realizing the unique risks involved at this stage of life. Our brains release dopamine, the pleasure chemical, in response to sexual stimulation. But repeated overstimulation from intense pornographic content causes the brain to adapt, demanding more intensity for the same satisfaction, a cycle of diminishing returns. This can lead to dopamine desensitization, where real-life experiences, like intimacy or meaningful touch, no longer provide the same emotional reward. What once felt fulfilling may now feel flat or disappointing. For older men, this is particularly damaging. As hormone levels decline, the brain's ability to regulate emotions becomes more delicate. Constantly flooding it with artificial sexual imagery can interfere with memory, focus, and mood. Some men even report increased anxiety or irritability after frequent pornography use, especially if it's used to cope with loneliness or sadness. What seems like a harmless habit can erode emotional resilience and cognitive sharpness. We recommend replacing overstimulating material with gentler alternatives. Erotic literature, softer visuals, or even using your imagination can provide stimulation without overloading your brain's reward system. This often leads to deeper self-exploration and reduces mental exhaustion. It's not about giving up pleasure, but reclaiming it in a way that enhances your overall well-being. There's also an emotional aspect. Pornography often doesn't reflect the realities or desires of older adults, creating a disconnect and feelings of inadequacy. Being selective and intentional with what you consume can dramatically improve how you feel about yourself and your ability to experience pleasure. The goal isn't just stimulation, but satisfaction, peace, and deeper connection. But stimulation isn't everything. There's another risk, particularly common in older men, that can lead to serious long-term damage if ignored. Our third mistake is neglecting prostate health. As we age, the prostate demands more attention. This gland plays a vital role in reproductive and urinary health, yet many men continue their sexual routines without considering the changes in their prostate. This can lead to discomfort, inflammation, and worse. The prostate naturally enlarges with age, BPH, putting pressure on the bladder, affecting urinary flow, and disrupting sleep. Aggressive or improper masturbation habits, too much pressure, delaying ejaculation, rushing, can further irritate the prostate and pelvic region. Over time, this can contribute to chronic pelvic pain, increased inflammation, and may interfere with the early detection of more serious prostate conditions. Some men believe holding in ejaculation strengthens stamina, but this creates unnecessary tension, leading to discomfort and longer recovery times. This is especially risky for men with prostatitis or a history of UTIs. We advise approaching masturbation with care, patience, and awareness. Gentle touch, adequate arousal time, and complete release without straining are essential. If you experience persistent pelvic pain, changes in fluids, or urinary issues, don't ignore these signs. They might not be urgent now, but could signal deeper problems. Protecting your prostate means respecting it. Masturbation can support prostate health by encouraging circulation, but it must be done mindfully, not routinely. Your body isn't what it was at 30, but it's still strong and deserves proper care. While physical harm is easier to detect, the emotional reasons behind our habits run deeper. Our next mistake can drain both body and spirit if left unaddressed. Our fourth mistake is masturbating out of loneliness or stress instead of connection. Emotional well-being is crucial, especially as we age. For many men, especially those living alone or grieving, masturbation can become a way to escape, fill emotional gaps, or cope with stress and isolation. There's nothing wrong with finding comfort in your own body, but there's a line between healthy self-care and using physical release to mask emotional wounds. When masturbation substitutes for emotional connection, it loses its joyful purpose and becomes a habit driven by sadness or anxiety. This can dull the emotional reward and lead to numbness. Some men feel even more alone afterward, especially when it's used to avoid difficult emotions. This cycle deepens loneliness, making it harder to seek companionship or social engagement. The problem isn't the act, but the motive. When driven by boredom or sadness, masturbation becomes about avoidance, not pleasure. The temporary comfort fades, often replaced by emptiness. This emotional fallout isn't discussed enough, but emotional hunger can't be satisfied by physical release alone. When you notice you're turning to masturbation out of habit or emotion, ask yourself, am I doing this because I feel good, or because I don't want to feel something else? This question can open a door to deeper self-awareness. Sometimes a walk, a phone call, or a hobby can offer the connection you crave. The goal isn't to avoid masturbation, but to reclaim it as something healthy and affirming. Your emotional health and sense of connection matter. Don't let loneliness dictate your relationship with your body. Pleasure, like love, shouldn't be a substitute for what's missing. It should be something added to what's already whole. But emotional motives aren't the only factor. Another challenge affects both mind and body, expectations and performance anxiety. Our fifth mistake is ignoring erectile dysfunction or performance anxiety. Changes in sexual function are common with age, but many men view these changes as failure. They use masturbation to test their performance, focusing on whether they can achieve or maintain an erection, instead of enjoying the experience. This turns a healthy act into one driven by fear and pressure. Performance anxiety affects the entire nervous system. When you worry, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone, which hinders arousal. What starts as a minor concern can become a recurring issue, creating a loop of frustration and disappointment. Many men don't realize this is both psychological and physical. Ignoring erectile dysfunction or letting it dictate your emotional state is harmful. Instead of accepting changes and adapting gracefully, many suffer in silence. But these changes aren't a judgment on your masculinity, they're simply biology. There are ways to support sexual health without shame or stress. Reframing masturbation as self-care, not a performance test, is key. It's not about how long or hard, but how you feel. When this shift happens, the pressure lifts, and the body often responds more freely. And if you have concerns beyond stress, like persistent erectile difficulty, seeking help isn't weakness, it's powerful. Performance doesn't define a man. Presence, connection, comfort, and honesty do. As we age, our bodies may change, but our ability to feel joy and peace remains fully alive. Now, let's discuss practical steps to reclaim healthy and joyful sexual habits. Final thoughts on sexual wisdom after 70. Pleasure takes on a deeper meaning, physical, emotional, even spiritual. After 70, it's not about performance, but honoring your body and listening to its wisdom. You've earned this freedom and peace. Masturbation, guided by awareness and self-respect, can be a beautiful part of your life, real, honest, and yours. Growing older doesn't mean letting go of intimacy, it means redefining it with grace. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live authentically. Now, reflect on what you've learned and plan to apply. Let's support each other. If you enjoyed this, leave a 1 in the comments. If not, a 0. Your feedback is valuable. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.